If you want to understand why some folks fight a yellow nail for 3 years, 5 years longer, and nothing from the pharmacy ever truly clears it, the answer is not in another antifungal cream, and it is not in another prescription that asks your liver to do the heavy lifting. The answer is something much older, something my grandmother mixed in a small clay bowl on her porch in the hills above Port Antonio. Come close, my child. What I am about to share could change what your feet look like, what your hands feel like, and how comfortable you are slipping off your shoes in front of company again. Yet most doctors will never speak of it. Not because they are hiding anything, but because this mix does not live in a pill bottle and a 15-minute appointment does not leave room for the old ways. The creams on the shelf make somebody a great deal of money. The prescriptions carry warnings you should read twice. What I will share lives in your kitchen, in your garden, and in the knowledge the Bush grandmothers carried long before laboratories knew what fungus even was. My name is Mother Mary Beckford. For over 55 years, I have served my people as a bush healer in the Blue Mountains of Jamaica, keeping the old island remedies passed down from my grandmother, a midwife and healer in the hills above Port Antonio, and her mother before her. 7 generations of our women have worked with these plants. My grandmother used to say, all disease begins in the belly, and the skin and the nails are only the windows showing you what the belly is carrying. The gut sets the tone for immunity, for inflammation, for the hormones that govern healing, and for the sleep that lets the body repair itself at night. When the belly is strong, the nail knows how to heal. When the belly is weak, no cream on earth will finish the work. My grandmother did this, her mother before her. In 7 generations of Beckford women tending the hills, I have rarely seen a stubborn fungal nail that did not yield when we treated both the foot and the foundation. We watched aunties in their 70s walk barefoot through the dew, their nails clear and strong, while folks down in town were still losing theirs. Now researchers come into our hills with their notebooks asking the grandmothers what they do. The laboratories are confirming what we have watched for generations. This is 3 ingredients from the earth prepared together, applied with patience. One of the 3 ingredients will surprise you, my child. 9 out of 10 folks have it sitting in their kitchen right now and have no idea what it can do when paired correctly. And the order matters. Each ingredient prepares the nail for the one that follows, so please stay with me to the end. Before we go further, I want to hear from you, my people. Leave a comment below and tell me your age and tell me how long you have been fighting this particular nail. A year? 5 years? Longer? I read every single comment on this channel, and your answers guide what I prepare next. In this video, I will walk you through the hidden reason most pharmacy treatments fail after a few weeks. I will share the 3-ingredient mix itself in the correct order. I will show you the supporting habits that amplify what the mix is doing. I will share a kitchen spice that cuts fungal regrowth when added to your evening meal. And I will give you the internal foundation piece, the one most bush healers consider the true master, because without it, every topical treatment in the world is only painting over a problem. Before I go on, a small favor, daughter. If this channel has ever brought you comfort, take 2 seconds to subscribe. Many folks tell me they thought they had and they had not, so just check. It costs nothing, and it helps us reach more of our elders quietly suffering with problems they were told to live with. Why the creams have been failing you. The nail is not where the fungus lives. The nail is where the fungus shows. The real colony sits underneath the nail plate, in the nail bed where the blood vessels are. The creams you buy sit on top of the nail, and the nail is dead keratin. It is like watering a plant by pouring water on the ceramic pot. The water never reaches the root. The old ones understood this. They knew you had to carry the medicine down through the nail into the bed where the fungus was feeding. Their preparations did 2 things at once. They softened the hard keratin surface just enough to let the medicine pass through, and they disrupted the fungal environment underneath. Researchers have come to our hills and studied the plants we use, and they found that several contain natural compounds that work on both the surface structure of the nail and the microbial environment beneath. The grandmothers only smiled. They had watched this work for generations. The aging angle matters here. After 60, circulation to the toes and fingertips slows. The blood flow delivering your body's own immune cells to the nail bed drops by roughly 30 to 40% compared to younger years. This is why young people often shake off a fungal infection in a season while our elders can carry it for a decade. We have to compensate from the outside and strengthen the body's foundation from the inside at the same time. Why this specific three-ingredient mix works. The mix is this. First, raw apple cider vinegar, the cloudy kind with the mother still swimming inside. Second, pure tea tree essential oil, the kind that smells sharp enough to clear a room. Third, warm, unrefined coconut oil, with the coconut smell still strong in it. The apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid. This compound changes the pH of the nail surface. Fungal organisms need a slightly alkaline environment to thrive. When you drop the pH with a mild acid, the fungus cannot grow well. The vinegar also gently softens the top layer of the nail, which matters enormously for what comes next. Researchers in Thailand followed folks using dilute apple cider vinegar on affected nails over 8 weeks and observed meaningful changes in the nail plate structure. But the bush grandmothers of Jamaica had watched this for 200 years. The researchers arrived late, as they often do. The tea tree oil is the warrior. It contains terpenin 4-ol, which disrupts the cell membranes of fungal organisms. The cell membrane is like the wall around a house. When you break down the wall, the house cannot function. But tea tree oil is strong, and applied alone to aging skin, it can irritate. That is why the order matters. The vinegar goes first to soften the nail and lower the pH. The tea tree oil goes second when the nail is primed to receive it. Researchers have confirmed that properly diluted tea tree oil carried in a fat base reaches the nail bed in meaningful concentrations. The old ones only nodded because they had been pairing it with coconut for longer than any laboratory has existed. The coconut oil is the carrier and the healer. Coconut contains lauric acid and caprylic acid, which themselves have antifungal properties. More than that, the oil carries the tea tree deeper, and it soothes the surrounding skin that the vinegar and tea tree can dry out. After 65, the nail grows more slowly, sometimes half the speed it did at 40. A full nail out on the big toe can take 9 to 12 months, on the fingers 3 to 5 months. This is a nightly practice, the way my grandmother used to hum her songs and work the mix into my aunt's feet on the porch at dusk. The detailed protocol. Every evening, about 1 hour before bed, fill a small basin with warm water, comfortable to the hand. Add half a cup of raw apple cider vinegar. Soak the affected foot or hand for 15 minutes. The vinegar is softening the nail, lowering the pH, preparing the surface. Do not skip the soak. After 15 minutes, dry the foot thoroughly. Dry between the toes carefully. Fungus loves moisture, so this drying step is part of the medicine. In a small clay bowl or glass dish, combine 1 tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil, warmed gently between your palms until it is liquid, with 4 drops of pure tea tree essential oil. Not 5, not 8. 4. Too much tea tree irritates the skin around the nail, and that irritation slows healing. Using a cotton swab, apply the mix directly to the affected nail, going deep into the edges where the nail meets the skin. Work the oil into the cuticle, around the sides, underneath the free edge if you can. Then rub a little more over the top of the nail. Put on a clean cotton sock and go to bed. Do this every night, 7 nights a week. This is where most folks fall off the path. They do it 3 nights, they see no change, they stop. For the first 3 weeks, you may see no visible change. By week 4, you may see the new growth at the base coming in clear and strong, while the old damaged nail is still present at the tip. By month 3, the clear growth has pushed the old fungal portion halfway out. By month 6 to 9 on a toenail, the affected nail has grown out almost entirely clean. One word of care. If you take blood thinners, or if you have diabetes with any circulation concerns in the feet, please speak to your doctor before beginning any foot soak. Dorothy came to me last year, 71 years old, from Savannah, Georgia, a retired school teacher. She had fought fungal infection on both big toes for 6 years. 3 prescription pills, 5 different creams, and the nails were still thick and yellow and lifting at the tips. What was overlooked was that her gut had been struggling for years after a long course of antibiotics for a dental issue, and her internal defenses were depleted. We began the 3 ingredient protocol and we supported her foundation. Within 6 weeks, the new growth was coming in clear. By month 9, both big toes showed meaningful clearing, nearly 80%. She told me, "Mother Mary, I slipped on a sandal last Sunday for the first time in 7 years. I cried right there in the store." The supporting cast. The morning foot ritual. When you rise before you dress, walk barefoot on a clean towel for 5 minutes while you sip your warm water. This lets the feet breathe after a night in the cotton sock. Then wash with a mild soap and dry thoroughly, especially between the toes. A foot that stays damp in a shoe all day undoes the work you did the night before. A kitchen spice that works from the inside. My grandmother used to say that what grows on the outside is fed by what sits in the belly. 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric stirred into a warm cup of coconut milk each evening with a pinch of black pepper. The curcumin in turmeric supports the body's inflammatory response, and the black pepper increases absorption by a large margin. Researchers in India studied this combination in adults over 60 and found measurable reductions in inflammation markers over 12 weeks. My grandmother only nodded when she heard this news. She had watched the golden milk do its work since she was a girl. The internal foundation. Here is something the Bush grandmothers understood that modern medicine is only now catching up to. By the age of 60, the population of beneficial bacteria in the gut has dropped by roughly half compared to a younger adult. These bacteria govern the immune responses that reach every corner of the body, including the nail bed. Most folks buy a probiotic pill and stop there. A probiotic alone is like planting seeds in dry soil. The seeds need the soil, and the soil needs to feed the seeds. You need prebiotic fiber to feed the bacteria, and you need the postbiotics, which are the actual healing compounds the bacteria produce when they are fed well. Probiotics alone without prebiotic fiber and without postbiotics is a broken system. All 3 must work together, the way a garden needs the seed, the soil, and the water together. I want to pause here, my people, because this is a question I get from my neighbors in the hills nearly every week. They ask me, "Mother Mary, what do you take yourself for that internal foundation?" For years, I made my own preparations, but not every daughter has time to sit and brew what I brew. So let me share what I have landed on. The product is called Booch Bod, and it is the one I reach for now. It carries all 3 pieces together in one small chew, the prebiotics, the probiotics, and the postbiotics, working the way Mother Nature intended. It contains 2 clinically studied strains, lactospore and postbiotics LM-4, alongside dandelion root and slippery elm, 2 plants my grandmother kept in her kitchen pot year-round back in the hills. Over 30,000 folks are already using it to support their foundation. It is a gummy, not a pill, which matters for those of us who have trouble swallowing capsules. As always, speak to your doctor before starting any supplement. The link sits in the description below this video. The masterpiece, patience with the nail cycle. And now we arrive at the most important teaching I can give you. The thing that separates those who clear their nails from those who give up. It is not a mix. It is not a spice. It is patience. A toenail grows roughly 1.5 millimeters per month after 60. A full toenail from base to tip is about 15 millimeters. That is 10 months for a complete replacement. On the big toe, longer. The fungus has been living in that nail for years, sometimes decades. You cannot hurry the nail cycle. You can only feed it and protect it and let it do its slow work. The old grandmothers had a saying in the hills: "The mountain takes its time, and so must you." They told women fighting nail troubles to mark the moon. Each new moon, take a small picture of the affected nail, not every day, because every day you see nothing and you grow discouraged. Every new moon, 28 days between pictures. When you look back, you see the work. You see the clear portion growing in at the base, pushing the damaged portion out toward the tip. You see yourself winning the slow war. Harold came to me through his daughter, 68, from Taos, New Mexico, a retired carpenter. His thumbnail on his right hand had been fungal for 4 years, and as a carpenter, he used his hands in front of clients every day. He was ashamed of it. He started the 3-ingredient protocol and the internal support in January. By April, the clear growth at the base was unmistakable. By July, the clear portion reached past the halfway mark. By October, 10 months after he began, the damaged portion had grown out and been trimmed away. He sent me a photograph of his hand holding a piece of cabinetry he had built. The caption said only, "Mother Mary, thank you for giving me back my hands." Researchers at a university in Belgium followed folks using a combined topical and gut-supporting approach for 9 months and reported significant clearing in a large share of participants, much higher than topical treatment alone. The Bush grandmothers of the Caribbean nodded when they heard this news. They had always known the foot and the belly spoke to each other. Pro tips after 55 years of watching what actually works. 1. Do the vinegar soak at the same hour each evening. The body heals on rhythm, and consistent timing compounds the effect. My grandmother always worked with her patients at dusk because she believed the body surrendered to rest and repair most easily at that hour. 2. Consistency over heroics. Some folks double the tea tree oil thinking more will clear faster. It will not. It will irritate the skin and may burn the cuticle. 4 drops every night is better than 8 drops twice a week. 3. Quality signals for the ingredients. Look for raw apple cider vinegar with the mother visible, cloudy and alive. For tea tree, pure essential oil, not fragrance oil. It should say Melaleuca alternifolia on the bottle and smell sharp and medicinal. For coconut, unrefined, cold pressed, and it should smell strongly of coconut. Common mistakes. Mistake 1. Stopping at 2 weeks. The pharmacy creams have trained folks to expect fast results. The nail cycle is slow. Stay with the protocol for at least 3 months before judging. Mistake 2. Skipping the soak and going straight to the oil. The vinegar soak prepares the nail surface, lowers the pH, and opens the pathway. Without the soak, you are applying oil to a locked door. Mistake 3. Keeping the affected foot in damp shoes all day. You can do the perfect protocol every evening and undo it by wearing wet socks to work. Bring a second pair of cotton socks with you if you work on your feet and change midday. My child, hear me now. This is about more than a yellow nail. This is about the morning you slip off your shoes at your grandson's pool party and do not reach for a towel. This is about sitting in sandals at the church picnic without tucking your feet under the bench. This is the dignity of a body that feels like your own again. You are the keeper of this body, and it has carried you this far, and it knows how to heal itself when you give it what it needs. It is never too late. I have seen women of 80 clear nails they had carried since their 50s. The body does not check the calendar. It only asks for patience and the right materials. Let me lock this in for you. 1. The failing creams cannot reach the nail bed where the fungus lives, and this is why the old ways work where the pharmacy does not. 2. The 3-ingredient mix is raw apple cider vinegar in a 15-minute soak, then 4 drops of pure tea tree essential oil in 1 tablespoon of warmed, unrefined coconut oil applied every evening in that exact order. 3. The detailed protocol is nightly, patient, consistent, with a clean cotton sock overnight for 3 to 12 months depending on which nail. 4. The supporting habits are the morning foot ritual, the turmeric and coconut milk at night, and the internal foundation that feeds your gut so your immune system can finish the work. 5. The master teaching is patience with the nail cycle. Mark the new moon. Take the picture. Let the mountain take its time. Before we part, daughter, if this channel has helped you, subscribe so we can stay connected. Share this with your spouse or your oldest friend who has been quietly hiding their feet, and leave me a comment below. Tell me which part surprised you most or which part you will begin with tonight. I read every single comment on this channel, and your words guide my next teaching. If you want to take a look at the Boochbod gummy, the link sits in the description below, waiting for you whenever you are ready. Walk gently, my child. The Creator is with you, and so is every grandmother who came before. Go rest your feet.